So I enjoyed, the second episode, but Saul going mad at the end was not great. They should have showed it from his POV. The second thing that was a mistake, in my opinion, is they're really, really building up that whole idea that David's a bastard and that Jesse had an affair. I mean, this show really throws Jesse under the bus.
But did he?
No, there's no scriptural evidence of that at all.
Really?
And people are mad.
You gotta throw a little drama in there.
Yeah,
people watch
drama.
Yeah, it is. It's it's just drama for the sake of drama. But I'm kind of there's already enough in that show inherently. You know what I mean? Like the story itself conveys enough drama as is. I don't know why you need to disparage Jesse. It's almost like they assume that because David was a shepherd boy, in the hills or whatever, they assume that because he was a shepherd boy that he must have been unfavored or whatever. It's no, he was the shepherd boy because he was the youngest and Saul was calling all the older boys to fight in the army.
Yeah, he was 12 or 13 when that all started, wasn't he?
Yeah, I believe so. He was, yeah. Jess says David was sent out to watch the sheep because it was the youngest, not because nobody liked him. To which I agree. It's it was just, that was the job for the kids. Jess also says he wasn't the red-headed stepchild. To which I also agree. So, LOL.
I don't think he was redheaded at all.
I don't know what color his hair was.
You think Goliath was redheaded?
I have no idea.
Goliath.
I have no idea. I would say no because of the region, but I don't know. So, anyway.
Oh, no.
So
There's the redheaded giant of Afghanistan story.
He was always wearing a helmet. So.
You know that story? All I've heard of this story is that there were some soldiers killed by a giant in the mountains. Do you know more about it? I just know about that tale in the vaguest of terms.
Right, yeah. About it for me, too.
That's crazy. Wonder what they did with the giant's body.
Which
Boy,
body?
I don't know. That's a good question.
He's in the basement of the Smithsonian.
Probably.
With top men.
The top men.
He might even be a guard down there. We don't
Yeah. So they're really causing all the other Christian channels to get very upset about the whole David being a bastard thing. One guy who runs the radio show Wretched, he was like, they're rewriting the Bible. And I'm like, okay, dude.
Calm down, buddy.
Yeah, I'm like, you need to relax. They're not saying this is canon. You can take a breath. It's okay. But yeah, they are making some people pretty mad.
And they do have a disclaimer at the beginning of each episode.
Oh, do they?
Does
it say this is not the Bible? Chill out.
Basically. I don't remember their words for sure, but.
Oh, well, this is fun. Jessica Lambert says, fun fact, Romans thought steel was made when a red-headed boy peed on the metal during processing, so they probably would have liked him more if he was red-headed. Those silly Romans. Fun or depressing, one of the two.
Steel was made. What do you mean they thought? They didn't know how to make steel?
I've heard this. Well, hang on a minute. I think I've heard something I don't know about the red-headed stepchild thing, but they were peeing on the blade, and they just knew that the pee'd work. Yeah, to quench it, and they just knew that the pee'd work. It had I think it had something to do with the the carbonizing the metal or something to do with that. I don't know.
Well, I used to forge, so I mean,
you didn't pee on the swords. I understand
a lot of that. Well, I mean, the only thing I can think of is that it would the salt would absorb into the metal when it was being quenched instead of because you're supposed to quench in oil. Water will make it brittle, right?
Gotcha.
So if you quench it, it cools off too fast and the molecules are moving too quick and it becomes very brittle and it'll break. So
that makes sense.
You quench in oil because it quenches it slowly, but I don't know what urine does because it's got salt in it. So I don't know.
Well, Jen said acid in the pee. or something. I don't know anything about it. That's kind of where we're all at. We're like, well, it was something about the urine, apparently. So
there's only acid in your pee if you're drinking acidic stuff.
Like coffee.
If you're drinking, you're right. If you're drinking water all the time, or wine.
Dude,
I mean, wine would make your pee acidic.
Yeah, that's true. If that's
but 12-year-old
case,
boys don't drink wine. I don't know.
I think everybody drank wine back then.
Could be. Everybody's just fucked up all the time.
Well, I mean, the legal age in some countries is 13 still.
Okay.
Is it?
Yeah.
You guys talk for a minute. Everybody's active on the chat now, so I need to actually get the chat on the screen. So give me a minute. You guys entertain the audience.
Active chat. How is active chat today?
So yeah, I guess salt. Let's see, what would salt do? Would it turn it red? Would it oxidize it different?
Maybe.
Because the Romans used mostly brass, which is tin and copper. So I don't know, man. That's pretty interesting.
I'm gonna have to do a deep
I'm gonna have
dive on that.
Yeah, look into that. You getting anywhere, Gary?
Yeah, I am. It's just gonna take a minute. It's the thing's fighting me. So hang on. We're good
Jen, if
though.
your pee smells like ammonia, go to the doctor.
Might have a what's it called? A thing.
The what?
What's it called? When your pee smells like that? It's some
like
sort
asparagus?
of infection in your bladder or whatever.
I don't know. But I know if you have that kind of problem, you need to eat golden seal. Is that what it's called? That yellow stuff that pops up in like April or so.
Like a flower?
Yeah, it grows on the side of the street.
Oh, nice.
It's like a weed. Everybody thinks it's bad and cuts it down, but it's actually good for your, your pee.
Apparently,
Jessica sent a link. Cool.
Who'd you send a link to?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I know if cat piss lingers too long, it smells like ammonia.
Yeah. Cats are full of parasites.
This conversation has devolved.
Oh, big time. Big time.
But
Jess started it, to be fair.
She did start it. You're right. Okay.
What were we talking about?
P.
Oh, yeah.
The show.
The House of David. Review.
Yeah.
2.
Yeah, no, we're done with the P.
Are we done with the P?
Cody, have you watched it yet?
No.
All right, I've got it. I've got it on. Yay me. The chat is on the screen. Yeah. Jessica Lambert says, it didn't devolve, it evolved.
It evolved.
Okay, then. This is elevated conversation. Very elevated. All right.
Pissing on milk.
We're
the next knife I make, I'm
adults.
peeing on it. That's for sure.
Oh my goodness! Wow. Oh.
I have to find out. I mean,
yeah.
My next knife blade will be quenched in urine. I can guarantee you that.
Oh my goodness.
Make sure you drink a lot of Red Bull or whatever, so it's more acidic.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, back to David. Yeah, that's right, Jen. Back to David. Good segue. Good segue. So, okay, so everybody's mad about the stepchild thing. What else? So he kills the lion. I'm sorry, go on.
Yeah, my question about the lion, actually.
Yeah.
I thought he killed the lion with a sling and rock.
I thought so too.
But they made it look like he killed him with, knife bite. I'm like, could you really actually go up against the lion with a small knife like that?
What do I know, man? I mean, I couldn't go up to a lion under any circumstances, so I'm not gonna nitpick that plot point. But David was supposed to be very, very tough, so maybe he was the guy that could have. But no, I was under the impression, he killed the bear and he killed the lion. That was the other thing that was weird, though.
I haven't seen the bear yet.
Yeah, they said it was a myth. If you caught the line whenever he's talking to his brothers later on in the show, one of the brothers makes the comment like, "Oh, I heard it was a lion," so they didn't have to do the lion scene. Now I don't know if they're implying that I don't know if they're making a doctrinal statement about the Bible having like things that are not correct in it, or if they just didn't have enough money for CGI. But either way, they said the bear was like part of the exaggerated lore, which I found very irritating. Like, guys, use sock puppets before you say something like that. But that's what they did.
Why would they sock puppets?
Just to replicate the bear. Have a sock puppet as the bear, have a sock puppet as David, make them fight. And then, do that before you say it's just a rumor. Because you're going to just cause a fight. Huh?
I can imagine how much they had to spend on that. I don't remember the name of the movie, but that DiCaprio movie where he fights the bear.
Oh, right. Yeah.
I bet that was extremely expensive and painstakingly.
I bet that was extremely awkward for Leonardo DiCaprio getting thrown around by nothing. So, having to scream while there's like a green guy in a suit clawing all over him.
I saw an interview that had been actually talking about that. And he actually it took it out of him.
Yeah, I mean that's some tough method acting.
Yeah. Imagine a green guy in a suit. It's like Andy Serkis going, "My precious." Ah!
Having to trick yourself into being traumatized by a guy in a green suit.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there was a joke about he had to get mauled by a bear to finally get his trophy. What's it called?
That was Grammy?
Grammy or something like that?
Oscar.
Oscar.
That little naked golden guy?
Yeah, the one that actors
Oscar.
thrive to get.
Yeah.
Okay, Jessica.
Quite reminiscent of a golden calf.
Let's see. Jen said, "But I can put down some coffee." Jessica says, "Green screen man strikes again." And then she adds, "No one expects the green screen man." Then she corrects somebody and says Oscar, and then somebody else, and then she says Golden Globe, but I missed the context for that. So
I don't know what it is.
Anyway, so yes, apparently the bear. We're not getting the bear scene, which is irritating. What else?
Unbearable.
It's unbearable. But
oh man, Trevor.
That hurt a little. That hurt to even play along. But anyway, so there was that. So that irritated me. What was the other thing? I was on another tirade too. Okay, so this was the other thing. So again, they really throw Jesse under the bus. Like it is annoying because David comes back after killing the lion. And he's like limping, and he's all bloody. I mean, they've really shown that this guy's had a bad time, and so he's got these lion teeth. And Jesse runs up to David, and he's like, "Are you okay?" Acting very concerned. And then he looks at the guys behind him, and then he slaps David and like, "Don't do that again," And then David walks off in a huff, and then Jesse starts crying, and I'm like, "You guys need to chill." Like, leave that poor man alone. These writers, I don't know what he must have known a man named Jesse and not liked him. That's like the only thing I can figure because they really torched this guy for no reason. Yeah. And so then David gives the teeth to the girl that was getting chased by the lion in the first episode.
Wasn't it the lion claw, not the teeth?
I don't know. It was one of the two. It was either the lion claw or the lion teeth. It was just fang-shaped objects that were covered with fur at the base. So either, since they were covered in fur, it probably was claws. You're probably right. So anyway, he gives.
I have fur in my mouth. So
you have fur in your mouth? That's unfortunate. You need to. I mean, that mustache doesn't look like much, but that might be an issue.
I keep gnawing on it.
You might want to get that checked out.
Yeah, that's like I don't know, anemia or something. Who knows?
What the?
What the? Anyway. So, okay. Oh, what else? They start building up the relationship between David and the girl. Of course, if you've read the Bible, you know that ain't going to end well.
The princess?
Yeah, spoiler. Yeah, the princess. Spoiler, that ain't going to end well. I doubt they're showing the foreskin scene, though. I'm just making that prediction right now. Spoiler,
man, that's the weirdest story in the Bible.
I don't know if it's the weirdest, but it's up there. It's up there.
They do.
He's like, hey
bring
man,
it up,
hey
though.
man, there's this girl I really like, and I need you to help me out with something. We need to go cut off all these Philistines' dicks and put them in a bag.
I think Saul was
Come on,
thinking
help
there's
me out.
no way he's going to do
Help me
that. And then David was like, "Oh yeah. I will call your bluff, sir." So
It's insane.
Make sure you heat up the knife first.
Help a brother out, yeah. I gotta get all these Philistines' dicks and put them in a bag. Come on.
Hey, at least he's not like putting them on a necklace and hanging them around his neck or something.
That's true. That would be quite gay.
well, we could probably blame
I mean,
the
touching that many dicks is pretty gay.
Well, he was possessed. I mean, let's be nice to Saul. He was possessed at this point, so you know. Right. That's what I'm saying. Jess says, maybe it was a bad game of truth or dare. That's what I'm saying. Saul was like, you want my daughter? I dare you to go and get these Philistine penises and put them in a bag. And David was like, all right. And then he comes back and does it. And
right.
Saul's like, well, what do I do now?
I'm fine with that. Give me a pair of scissors, bro.
Truth, did you kill the lion?
Truth, did you kill the lion? Oh, for David, like Saul saying, yeah, and then David's like, you bet I did. So, anyway.
No, dare.
No, dare. Okay, so... Oh, okay, what else? What we got
Suck
left?
my toe all the way to Mexico.
That has no correlation, if anything, but... Okay, what else? Trevor, help me out, because we're, like, jumping all around here, so...
Yeah, now we're starting to get into other episodes, I think.
Well, we're reading into future passages. So they start the relationship with David and Michelle?
Goliath?
Yeah, the girl. And then Joab. They introduce Joab. He's a charming figure, for those who don't know.
It's like Job with an A.
How about the commander, the
Abner?
Abner? They put him in a tight spot.
Yeah, they did.
Like George Clooney?
Well, what do you mean by that? What do you mean put Abner in a tight spot? Like, elaborate,
Well,
sir.
in the Bible, wasn't he more on Saul's team than it portrays? Or was it the other way around?
I honestly can't remember, because
I'd have to.
I know Joab was a real villain, but I can't remember if Abner was a villain or not. Like that.
Which one's Joab again? In this
Joab was the obnoxious cousin that David bowed up to. He was also the one
With
that
the
had
scar?
the little knife. Yeah,
Right. Okay.
yeah. So, they're not gonna get they get along, but in this show they're like not. And anyway, so that happens, and the show ends with David's brother taking David to a ruined city, like where the Philistines had attacked.
Yeah, because David really wanted to join them in battle, and so.
And there was a plot hole here, a little one, but it was a plot hole.
Yeah.
Because Jonathan had wrote up there earlier in the show, and that's where they have the scene with the giant bloody hand on the wall, which is a great scene, by the way. That's very good.
Yeah.
But when David and his brother get there, there's Philistines that have basically camped out at the city. And I'm like, well, wait a minute. If Jonathan... my hair.
I can't wait for our other guy. What's his name?
Bad intro?
Bad intro to jump in here. He's gonna
He might show up. Who
Start.
knows? Who knows?
It's good people. Good people.
Start giving you a hard time about your hair.
Oh, my hair, yeah.
Unless Gary pulls out another cigar.
No, see, I got smaller cigars just for him, so he would
my
feel
God.
better. I was thinking of him when I ordered my cigars. Those smaller cigars were just for him. So anyway, no, the last thing was the Philistines, which didn't make any sense, because if Jonathan and the Israelites had rode in and found the city destroyed, they would have taken the city back. So it didn't make any sense for there to be guards there. But there were Philistine guards there, so David and
Well,
his
they
brother
were in
have to
this.
escape.
They were in like an outskirts town, right?
Yeah, it was a town on the border, but I mean, if the Israelites rode all the way out there, they would have tried to retake the city because those are very expensive buildings. Like it's not like now where you can just walk away from a ruined area. Like they would have tried to take the city back.
They wouldn't have just left it and
I don't think
let
so.
it decay like that.
I don't think so. No.
Oh,
Not if they rode up there because they just defeated the Amalekites. Like they just defeated them, so that war was over. So the Philistines are just now starting the raid. So that at that point, like they would have been trying to, keep their land.
well, I mean, to go with that, what if the Israelites did leave a few guys there and the Philistines took them out, and that's what just happened?
That could have been,
And
they
David
just didn't
and
show
his
it.
brother, yeah.
There you go. But to quote Mueller, you're writing for the authors, Trevor. You can't do that. But anyway, that's okay, though. That's okay. That's a good point. That's a good point. So that happens. David's brother gets wounded. David ends up carrying him back to presumably Jesse's. And then the show ends with either that or Saul almost killing his wife and Jonathan and Abner holding him back.
Yeah, I thought Saul almost killing his wife was like in the third episode.
I don't think he kills his wife, but he tries to. He's got that.
He tries to,
thing.
yeah.
So there's that. And Samuel's taken an awful long time to get there. David has had quite a number of adventures, but he's old, so, we won't call that a plot hole yet. But anyway, so that is the review of the second episode of David. And
Our
with that-
attempt at a review, anyway.
Our attempt. We'll get better at these. There's a whole bunch of episodes. We're going on to episode 3 next week. But so far, pretty good. A few little things, but nothing like Terminator Genisys. I just finished my review series on Terminator Genisys. 9 reviews. 9 1,000-word articles on how crappy that freaking movie is.
There you go.
It's terrible. Don't watch Terminator Genisys. It's awful. But anyway, we'll end there.
I'm going to buy it right now.
You spiteful creature. Anyway.
You're welcome.
Guys, thank you so much for watching. We're not really leaving. This is just to end the second part of the episode, or the second episode. So, guys, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Now on to episode 3. We hope you enjoyed this episode of Faith, Fiction, and Folklore. If you did, we would love it if you would subscribe to us on YouTube or follow us on Rumble. We can also be found on X, Instagram, and Facebook. And we are available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, and iHeartRadio. Thank you again very much for listening, and we'll see you next time.